I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com, and Motorola PHOTON Q 4G LTE is in the office. Let's take a look in the unboxing. Giant FedEx box for the win. Here's the Motorola PHOTON Q 4G LTE coming soon to Sprint, and special thanks to Motorola for hooking us up with one. Let's undo this big old box and get the Motorola PHOTON Q 4G LTE out first. Some love to Best Buy Mobile for hooking us up with phones like this for use in our One Paw Bandit giveaway game. When you go into Best Buy Mobile, you walk out working, set up your email, your web, your contacts, and more, so when you walk out the door, you're good to go. And special thanks to Motorola for hooking us up with a review unit as well. Always love those guys. Special thanks to them. They hooked us up, and so we are ready to rock and roll with the PHOTON Q 4G LTE. You want that physical QWERTY keyboard, and you're on Sprint, and you want 4G LTE, if you're in a market that supports it, that is the market for you, or this is the device for you, rather. What's the market for you, too, but it's definitely the device. Vehicle navigation dock, HD dock, 2 added accessory options, then here is the device itself. Just to give you a rundown, the specs on this device: 1.5 gigahertz dual-core processor. It's got Android 4.0.4, PC-like QWERTY keyboard, as the thread says, or as the press release says, rather. And you can see it's got kind of a look and feel of a Droid 3, kind of a look and feel of the original PHOTON, a little bit of everything, but it is here in the hands, and we'll take a look at that more in the coming days. So let's see out in the unboxing. Let's see, what do you get? Get started. Let's open this up. You know we love doing this kind of stuff. Open this up. What do we get out of the box? We get started guides, we get AC adapter modules, USB cables, but then we get this. Vamos, todo lo que tienes que saber para empezar. A recycling bag, and important information for the Motorola PHOTON Q 4G LTE. Then you get the usual Motorola stuff here, nothing too surprising. You get the AC adapter module, you get the USB cable, that's about it. But you want to see the device, you're like, come on Aaron, show us the device. New USB cable, that's kind of exciting. It's Friday, gotta get down on this Friday, and they give us new exciting USB cables. Thanks Motorola. And then you can see here, 1 gigabyte of RAM. It's got an 8 megapixel camera with 1080p HD video recording, 4.3 inch display with ColorBoost technology. So it's got, you know, kind of a the edges are rounded, but it's got kind of like I'm trying to think, kind of a sharp look to it, if you will. It's got a little bit of a different look and feel on the sides, and you've got your front-facing camera as well. Let's hope we've got some juice, and we do. We've got some juice, which is good. And then on the back, 8 megapixel camera, like I said, with 1080p HD video recording, but a pretty nice QWERTY keyboard here as well. A 5-row QWERTY keyboard with your numbers, with your letters, and with a dedicated row for the space bar. Then you got your period button, your comma button, and your D-pad over here on the right side. But it's loading up now. Again, nice fast 1.5 gigahertz dual-core processor. And then you've got your HD dock as well. We've got some goodies that we can play with for the full review here. What's better than HD? Big HD. And vehicle navigation dock. Excuse me, forgive me, I'm losing my voice pretty quickly apparently, if today is any indicator. So we'll start up, welcome us to do this, and let's see, make it Google. Not now, we're just going to do the unboxing. Congratulations, setup is complete. That was easy. Hello Motorola. Next, okay. And let's see what comes out of the gate really quickly, since this is an unboxing. Add apps to home. And you know, one thing I absolutely love about the most recent iteration of Motorola's user interface, the fact that it looks a lot like stock Android. You know, outside of a few customizations, little things like this where you can do the browser preview or a text preview, and you'll see the arrows beside the icons if you can actually do that. Outside of things like that and some minor customizations, it's pretty similar to stock Android 4.0 or Ice Cream Sandwich, as you may know it by. And this is Android 4.0.4 again, just for clarification. So you get the option for most likely up to 7 home screens. We'll take a look at that for the full review. But you've got the same kind of notifications bar that you have on the most recent versions, the Droid Razr, the Droid Razr Max, some of those updates that we're seeing on Motorola devices, and of course recently the Motorola Atrix HD on AT&T looks really similar to that with the icons, and again looks really similar to stock Android. Out of the gate, you get a couple of different Sprint things: Sprint ID, Sprint Zone, Vehicle Mode, Visual Voicemail, and more. And then you get, of course, the Motorola stuff, Google Plus integration, emergency alerts, so you can get those emergency weather alerts, and more. So apps and widgets pre-installed as well. Let's see what widgets we get out of the gate here. You get some Motorola stuff. You see the calendar one, for example. Let's bring this one over to a home screen here and see if we can add it, and we can customize it, change the size around a little bit, make it our own, and that's always a nice thing. Bam! And then there's our calendar widget. Unfortunately, most of these widgets are dynamic, so you can customize them how you see fit and really make your home screens your own, and that's something I really like. So down here again, on-screen buttons, back, home, and then recent applications, which I don't have any open right now. Seems to be a relatively fast device. We'll load up a text message really quickly just to see what that's like, and we'll see text message. We'll go to plus. Again, 4G LTE capabilities on Sprint, and let's cancel out of that. And let's say, hey there, how are you doing today? Hey there, how are you doing today? Portrait to landscape transitions reasonably fast, but the benefit here is you get a nice QWERTY keyboard. So again, QWERTY keyboard very closely resembles the Droid 3 on Verizon. And let's say the quick brown fox is happy to be awake today. Clearly it's been a long time since I've used a physical QWERTY keyboard, but all in all, relatively decent QWERTY keyboard here, and you've got the on-screen option with a 4.3-inch display if you prefer using it that way, but it's always nice to have the physical QWERTY keyboard choice. And another thing I want to show you is the browser. So without further ado, let's jump in here. And this is running on Sprint's 3G, which historically hasn't been the best in the Charlotte metro area because we haven't had network vision roll out just yet, but hopefully when 4G LTE comes, and if you're in a market that supports 4G LTE, this could be a great device for you. But overall, I'm really liking the design changes here. It's got a nice look and feel to it, a very modern look and feel, as opposed to some of the older devices with QWERTY keyboards where, you know, you kind of get that QWERTY keyboard and you feel like you're getting an old device. And you know, fortunately it looks like this one's relatively decent. I'm going to go ahead and do the sign out while this is loading up because this is going to take a while. So much more coverage to come on PhoneDog.com of the Motorola PHOTON Q 4G LTE. You know, I'm a big fan of physical QWERTY keyboards. I think there's still a place in the market for those. I'm really excited to see manufacturers embracing this, releasing devices with physical QWERTY keyboards and with up-to-date specs. You know, 1,785 milliamp hour battery, dual-core processor, 4G LTE, and more. Really excited to see these kind of things enter the marketplace. So stay tuned as we cover the PHOTON Q 4G LTE. Keep it locked on the site. Be sure to like us on Facebook, facebook.com/PhoneDog, and hit me up on Twitter. Let me know what you think of this device, PhoneDog_Aaron, and on Facebook at facebook.com/PhoneDogAB. Stay tuned for more on the Motorola PHOTON Q 4G LTE. I almost forgot the Q. Did you hear that? Q 4G LTE. We'll see you next time. Have a great weekend.